close reading of a book today called Bats at the Ballgame. Okay, Bats at the Ballgame. And it's written and illustrated by Brian Lies. And this is a story about some bats who go and watch a ball game. Is that real?
No.
No. So what kind of genre do you think this book is? What kind of genre?
Fiction.
Good, Charles. It's a fiction book. Now, bats are real and ball games are real, but bats playing ball isn't real, is it? So it's a fiction book.
Only if you teach them how to hold stuff.
Well, I still don't know about that, but I bet you there's things that you know about bats. I'm not going to ask you what you know about bats, but I want you to use what you know about bats to help you understand this story, okay? All right, we're going to start on the very first page. Look at the illustration very carefully. And again, I'm sorry you don't have each your own, but I want you to use your really good detective analyzing eyes to observe some things about this illustration.
I see a bunny. The
Okay. Yep.
I see team clothes. I see the team. And one has a I see a rabbit. And the bats.
Okay. And notice where they are. Notice the sky. Notice the lights. You're going to notice all kinds of things about this illustration. They kind of look like they're in a train, don't they? Let's talk one at a time so everybody can hear what everybody has to say. Tell me your name again, honey. Fernando. Fernando says it looks like they're in a train. What makes you say that, Fernando? What makes...
There's windows and something up there.
Like these look like train windows? Okay, these kind of do look like train windows, right? Not really glass, but more like this part. Okay. All right. Okay, I'm going to read the first page to you, and then we're going to read it again and talk about it. This first page is kind of complicated, so I really want you to think about it, okay? Dusk creeps in, and day is done. The last few rays of stubborn sun cling to hilltop, tree, and town. We wish that we could push it down. What does that mean? What do you think? That's complicated, isn't it?
Tired maybe? To push something?
Okay.
Probably tired of the day.
Okay. I like that. What makes you say they're tired of the day? That's a really good thought. Let's let her, I'm talking to her, let's let her answer, and then you can say why you think they're tired of the day, okay? What makes you say they're tired of the day?
Because they'll probably bored, so they're just gonna probably be on a train looking at stuff. Maybe.
Okay, well we don't actually know they're on a train. We just think they're on a train because these look like train windows.
And stuff.
I do see houses too, which we could see out. Okay, let me read it one more time. Dusk creeps in and day is done. Okay, so let's think about the day.
The day is done.
The day is done. So what comes after day?
Night.
Night.
And that's when they come out.
You're right, and you know that bats come out at night. But it tells us a word here that says dusk. Dusk creeps in and day is done. So I'm going to infer that dusk is the time of day between day and night. That time around sunset where it's not very light anymore, but it's not totally dark yet. Okay? When the sun is going down and the sun is still shedding some light on earth, but it's not totally dark yet.
A little bit.
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit of sun.
Just a little bit.
A little bit of sun is left. Okay? That's called dusk. What's it
You
called?
can see a
Dusk.
little bit sun
And
right
yes,
there.
you can see a little bit of sun right there, Charles. And that's why our illustration supports just a little bit of sun, right?
First is coming light, then it's going a little darker on the other side.
And that's a really important observation that you just make. It's kind of light, lots of light over here, and it's going to darker over here. And you notice that too? That's really smart, Fernando.
Maybe that's it has a window to see football, baseball play, and to stay there to see.
That's right, and I told you that, right? Maybe they're waiting for that. That's a really good observation,
That
really good
picture right
inference.
there, it might be the team. Yeah, it might be the old team picture.
That's really smart. We don't know, but that's a good inference because they all have their gear on, right? Let's get back to this side. It says that dusk creeps in. What does creep mean? What does creep? Let's talk one at a time, and then you can add on if you want to add more. Charles, what does creep mean? What does creep mean?
It's probably that guy that's hanging and they don't know that she's up there.
Okay, what does creep mean? you think creep means?
You're hanging,
Creeping.
like, you're hanging
Well,
upside
you're
down.
creeping.
Yeah.
You're
Oh.
like walking.
What kind of walking? Like what kind of walking
like-
is creeping walking? Like
tiptoe.
Like very careful walking.
Like sometimes at night I tiptoe at the dark and I sneak to get some food.
Okay.
When everybody's asleep.
Okay.
Me too.
All right, so you know what creeping, you know what type of walking creeping is. If it says that dusk is creeping in, and we know that dusk means where the sun's going down and night's coming out. So
It's
means
creeping in.
so that means that dusk is kind of coming tiptoeing
Yeah.
into night, right?
And right there, red thing, or like that thing right there, the red thing right there.
It's the finger.
Yeah, it's like the thing when you say go somewhere, and then maybe they're like down there where it's where you're looking at.
Mhm.
Maybe that's where they play baseball.
That's, you know what, that's really, really smart. And that's what good readers do. They use what they know to help them infer what they think's
And
going to
there's a
happen.
hat on the ground.
Mm-hmm. There is a hat on the ground. Right here, that's what, if you're a fan, if you're like a fan of a team, of a sports team, and you take that to the game with you and you shake it, right, to show your support, and you take it to the game with you.
They say you're
So that's a
number
really,
one.
yeah, you say
And
you're
he's
number
holding-
one.
And he's in one of the bats that are hanging, the little bat.
Mm-hmm. So,
It's holding
and-
a baseball
and-
thing, so they might throw it near him, and he might catch it.
and that really happens. People catch the ball sometimes, right? So we have lots of good clues in this illustration that they're going to be going to a baseball game, don't we? So we know that the nighttime is kind of creeping in slowly. Put that away, sweetie. Dusk creeps in and day is done. The last few rays of stubborn sun. Okay, are these the last few rays of stubborn sun? Yes,
Yes.
they are. Stubborn, meaning that it's, what is the
It's
synonym
bad.
for stubborn? What is a synonym for stubborn? What's another word that means the same thing as stubborn? What do you think? Do people ever tell you that you're stubborn?
Yeah.
They do? And what do they really mean that you are?
Well, you're like bad, pretty much. Maybe that might
Bad?
be that place where they like put like glass and like so people won't like fall in that where bats live.
Okay, now let's talk about stubborn again. Stubborn, when you really don't want to do something,
You're stubborn.
you're stubborn. It's like your head is hard.
Oh,
Anybody ever tell you that you're hard-headed?
yeah.
Okay, so the sun is being stubborn. The sun doesn't want to go where?
Up. Down.
Yeah, up or down?
Down.
Down. The sun up or down?
Down.
It makes it.
Why is the sun not want to go down? Why does the sun not want to go down?
Because he don't wants to go sleep. Yeah, because he doesn't want. Because he wants to still do his job. 'Cause
Okay.
The sun's doing his job.
He is doing his
keeping
job.
the light up.
Mhm. But he's going down, not fast enough for who?
For the bats.
Not fast enough for the bats.
Because
That's
the
right.
people would still see the bats.
That's right. So here, let's keep going. So the dusk creeps in slowly, and the day is done, and the last few rays, and remember we know that the sun's light is called rays, like a line, lines of light. The last few rays of stubborn sun, the rays of sun cling to the hilltops and the trees and the town. Right here, and here's the trees, and here's the town, and the sun is clinging to the top. What does clinging mean? What are things that cling?
Going bright.
Cling. Okay, what do you think? Clinging.
Like, probably a bell, like, ringing.
Okay.
Going down like.
Let me give you an example of clinging. When babies
Born.
when babies are little and they're like toddlers and they're scared to go off without their mom, they go and they wrap their arm around their mom's leg, right? Because they're afraid and they cling to their mom. Okay, so babies sometimes cling to their mom, or moms pick up their babies and then the baby wraps themselves around their mommy like a monkey sometimes wraps around to the mommy monkey. So when things cling onto something else, they stick to things really hard. Okay, so clinging is like sticking really hard.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Do not let it go.
I got one.
Exactly, to not let it go. That's perfect, Fernando. And so here's what's happening. The sun doesn't want to let go on this of the light on the trees or the hilltops.
Yeah.
And here's what. Hold on, one more second. Here's what happens on the last line. Listen carefully. Here says we wish that we could push it down. Okay, who's we? Who's we?
The bats.
The bats. Good. The bats are talking.
They wish they could put it down because the sun, when they go outside and there's still sun, they can't stand it and they'll try to go back in.
The bats say we wish that we could push it down. Okay, what is it? Push what down?
The
The
sun.
sun. Good. Can you push the sun down?
No.
No.
It would bomb you.
But here's the thing. The bats are so excited for night that they wish they could push the sun down and get nighttime here faster, right?
It's because they want nighttime to come faster. It's because they want to watch the baseball game.
You think? That's a great inference, right? That's a great inference. Yes, yes.
When me and my sister, all my little.
Oh, wait, hold that story. Hold that story.
Is it for that one?
I know.
When they hold their mom.
They're cling, yeah, but that just help that with your understanding of the word cling. Okay, we're not going to share that with the group. Here's what I want to make sure. I want to make sure that before we go on to the next page. Oh, let me ask you another question. Let me go back to what Fernando said. Now that we've talked about this page and we've really kind of analyzed the words and we think we know where they're going, do we still think they're on a train?
No.
No, they're not. We don't. Do we think that they're inside something looking out?
Yeah. I know
Yes.
they're in because me and my sister went to a baseball game.
You know where they're in?
Yeah, they're in this thing where you sit. It's like you know those things that they cover up and like they cover up your body, like the sun doesn't hit you. They have
Oh, like the bleachers?
Yeah, and then you.
put you like something to talk.
Okay, let me ask the rest of you. Jayla, listen up. Look at if we know what they can see, if we can see trees and houses and bells, do we think they're in the bleachers yet?
No. Yeah, there are because they have chairs in the background, but people they don't. They get up sometimes and get near the where that place the thing was, like the edge, like the people doesn't. Like the bosses said, don't go near it, but they go near it anyway. And they just look outside and they see the baseball game. That's how me and my sister does. Like it was different baseball game. It was like night down and Mudcats.
Okay,
Yeah.
the Mudcats, yeah, you guys have been to the Mudcats game. But here, let me show you the next page because I think the next page is going to help you confirm or reject your theory about where they really are. Okay? Let me show you.
China.
All right,
No.
let's look at it very carefully.
Go at an arcade.
Look at the illustrations very carefully.
Go at an arcade. That's a fair. They'll add a fair that has a baseball game.
Okay, they're at a fair that has a baseball game. How do you know they're at a fair?
Because we can see the roller coaster.
I know they're at a fair because
Because
I know they're at a fair because you
Because it
you
has games.
I know
has
you're going to
games
use
and
complete
rides.
sentences. You're going to say I know they're at a fair because.
I know that
Thank
they're
you.
at a fair because
see
there's rides
I know they're at a fair
and
because
games.
when I go to the fair, I see like those kind of stuff, and I see that, and then sometimes
Like you have to win
All right.
something.
So, but something's going on this page. Something is going on and something is not going on. Look at these illustrations on this side where the fair is on this side, okay? We see the swings and we see the cotton candy and we see the Ferris wheel and then we see over here, okay? Now, does this side, what? What do you notice?
that side is like off. People turn it off, and that side you're going that side so they can see the baseball.
Yeah, the
Okay.
baseball game.
Okay, this side, good, very good. This side is off. There's no lights. This side is closed. This side over here has lots of lights. And look what direction the bats are flying in.
They'll playing the baseball where the lights are.
Okay, that's a really good inference. I bet we're going to be able to check that. Here's my question for you. Are they in the bleachers yet?
No.
How do you know? How do you know?
Because they're not like they're outside, but they're not seeing a baseball game because we don't see no batters.
Because we're not really.
Wait, yeah, we see some batters right there.
Here's my question: are they on the way? Or are they actually there yet?
On the way.
They're on the way. They are on the way. We can see that they're flying on the way. There's some out here flying around.
Why can't I walk
Okay.
away?
Well, do bats walk or fly?
Fly.
Yes, they do fly. That's what they do.
Some pets walk sometimes on the
Good. They could. Let's read this page and see if we can confirm some more things here. Restless wings begin to itch. Excitement's at a fever pitch. At last it's time, and with a sigh, we hustle out to diamond sky. Hurry up, come one, come all. We're off to watch the bats play ball.
The bats, but they don't have any arms.
So I wonder how they're going to do that, right?
Maybe with the bats. Wait, they only have a little wing. They only have little arms. They only have little
The
arms.
arms here, yep, they do. But their wings are restless. Their wings are restless, and restless means that they can't stay still. They can't stay still because they're why
They
can't?
always fly.
And how else are they feeling about going to this game?
Happy.
Happy and excited.
A good question.
Yes.
They're wearing their shirts.
What kind of shirts
Wait,
are
they're
those?
the baseball players.
You think?
Because it has numbers and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, that's really
'Cause
smart.
At the baseball game me and my sister went, it had
they have
numbers. It was
numbers.
Nightdale and they have numbers.
They do. They've got their numbers on, and they got their. It looks like they got their jerseys. That's really smart. That's what good readers do. They pay really, really close attention to all the details in the illustrations, and then they match what they see in the details of the illustrations with what the author is telling us in the text. Okay, we are out of time. We aren't even beginning to start this story because we have done such a good, close reading of this book so far. But I want you to not forget what we've talked about so far tomorrow. Okay? All right. Thanks, guys. Good work.
Aw, I want to see the game.
Oh, that was looking at us the whole time.